Best Real Estate Company. It is me, Kaye Thompson, your Tennessee principal broker for the Realtor Division, and I just thought I would come and give you guys an update. I know it's been quite a while since we have given you a Friday Focus podcast. As I stated earlier this year, I had some different projects that I was going to be working on, and I wanted to be able to focus fully on those things. And, it takes a little bit of time to put together an agenda and things that we should have conversations about weekly. I do have intentions of picking this back up and finishing out the year much stronger by providing more links to podcasts with visuals that you can see. I really thought that now was a great time to go ahead and give an update or a new podcast episode, because we've had several things happen. Our markets have been very unpredictable, to say the least. We're used to certain things happening and then those things setting off specific trends and things of that nature. And it just has not been aligned with historical data. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that as well. And I really wanted to just take the time to give some updates about form changes and things of that nature that I think are very important. Most of the changes that we're going to talk about today are changes that are taking place in the Tennessee world. But just so you guys know, before I come on and do these podcasts, I do read and information, and I try to look for updates for every agent in every state, no matter where you're licensed, no matter who your broker is. And the reason that I think that's important is because I want us to be educated in as we work out in the field. B, I want everyone within our firm to be able to access the information that they need, whether it be general or state specific. And so that to me is the most important thing. And third, I just think it helps to it can help to build camaraderie and understanding for agents who work here as a collective, as a family. And I think that these videos could be great resources for you as you're deciding if and when to expand the footprint of your personal businesses to other areas. You can kind of, have some reference to how those states work. I am blessed to be licensed in every state that we have a license in. And so that kind of gives me an advantage because I've been able to understand at an agent level, at least, how different states work, different nuances between states. And I'm able to, really use that information to chart direction for my personal business and things of that nature. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to give a few updates about some changes that have been happening or that have occurred, things that we definitely need to look out for. And so we're just going to jump right in. I wanted to go ahead and give some information about the state of our markets. I've talked to several agents over the summer. I would say, mid-spring, summer to the summer now. And some of you have expressed anomalies that you've experienced in the market with regards to, buyer and seller decisions, how they're looking to sell their property or purchase a property. We've had a couple of incidents come up also that I kind of want to give, not sharing any agents' names, but just give a little bit of background on these topics or situations, and hopefully help someone to navigate these situations a little smoother if they find themselves in a position where they would have to defend their work or try to explain the value that they brought to a transaction. And so I can officially say that for me, every kind of market is a good market. I don't subscribe to, oh, the market it sucks. There's opportunities in every type of market. It's just that sometimes we have to pivot and find new ways to engage people and to create opportunities for business. So I know that like I said, there are some of you that are normally used to performing at a very high level, that you've not been able to get to that level so far this year. I just want to encourage you to keep going, keep trying. If there's specific challenges that you have, and you're looking for some guidance or direction, or you just want to know maybe what someone else has done, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, call me, or text me, and not just me, but me or the broker that you're assigned to if I'm not your broker. And I've given this spiel a couple of times on past videos, so I'm not going to do that now, but reach out to the appropriate people, your broker, because your broker is who should be giving you the guidance and direction to carry your business forward. And if they offer suggestions and things like that for you, then I suggest that you take it. I can say honestly, because I know the brokers that we have here intricately, all of them have extraordinary things that they do, and they have a wealth of expertise in their respective areas that should be utilized. I know that it's easy to reach out to me because I'm the one that you see all the time. I'm in the office and things of that nature. But I assure you that every broker at Best Real Estate Company, whether they are managing broker or not, they are definitely in a position to offer guidance. I would prefer you reach out to the broker that you're assigned to, and then allow them to put you, if necessary, in touch with someone that can, help you to gauge and assess the challenge that you have, and then to work with you to provide solutions. I do also want to really encourage people to contact the office when you have leads for states that you are not licensed in. It's not a requirement. And I know that a lot of us have friends that work at other brokerages. And I'm not saying that you should never work with those people. But what I am saying is that one of the things that I notice when I'm out is this. When I'm out, on real estate business or doing something that's representative of the firm. Agents who have left our company for whatever reason always seem to find their way to me in a crowded room. There is a song with that in it. And it's a Spinner song, I think. But they always seem to make themselves across a crowded room to me to share with me their experience with another brokerage and how I'm just always a wealth of information that they need, but they hang their license at somewhere else. And that's just always astonishing to me that people have their license somewhere else, but they look to me to be the problem solver for their deals. And I'll be honest, some agents, when they were here under my tutelage, I developed a soft spot for them. One agent actually calls me her real estate mama, which kind of, I'm just like, well, I'll be that, but don't say that out loud because it kind of makes me seem old. But I am old enough to be her mom. But she actually sent me a text message the other day about some lesson that they were teaching over at the Memphis Area Association of Realtors. And she sent me a screenshot and she says, you've been saying this at best for years, and now it's finally come about that they are making making a big effort to make people aware of the situation. And we're going to talk about it in this video. So I'm about 11 minutes in now. I really want to try to keep it to 30 minutes. So my number one thing is I just want to remind people, we have agents here at this firm who are licensed in Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, and Ohio. And if we get leads or an opportunity to do business with someone who's looking to purchase or sell in any one of those states, and they have come to you and you don't have a license to work there, please, please reach out to the office so that Erica, Tennille, or myself can put you in contact with the agent who is capable of working in the state that your client needs to work in. There are several benefits for that. Number one is it's easier to negotiate with people in-house sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but it is easier most times to do that. Also, you would be working with an agent that you can put your hands and fingers on. And what I mean by that is you can get in contact with them, because we here at the office, we do try to pride ourselves on knowing, for the most part, where our agents are. Third, you're helping your fellow agent by providing them the opportunity to make money as well. In my mind, it looks like to me, the way it looks to me is if you go out and you reach out to someone to help you with your Mississippi lead, and we have 80 Mississippi agents. We just took an opportunity for 80 agents to eat, and we gave it away. And so I'm not saying that I want I know there are some situations where you need people's expertise and different things, and you may have to, work with someone that's not in the brokerage. But I, strongly advise you guys to look to us first. When I am looking to, have someone be represented in a way that I can't help them, for whatever reason, I always, always, always come back to this brokerage first. And I can honestly say I don't ever remember one time having to refer a lead out to someone that was not affiliated with this office. Never once have I had to do that. I was always able to find someone here. In fact, the first transaction I ever closed in my life as a real estate agent was one that came to me from my friend who lived in Mississippi, she lived in Tennessee, but she wanted to move to Mississippi, and I didn't know anybody. And so I called up to the real estate office and was able to meet with an agent who was able to help my client. And that agent and I went on to do so much business together for years. I still consider that agent a friend. That agent is like family to me. We fight like brother and sister. And some of you, a lot of you actually probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the person's name, but we were able to build such a good bond just by working together. And I was blessed to be able to have that person in my corner, because there was a lot of things that he actually showed me to do that were beneficial and helped me to grow my business. So, I just want everybody to be mindful of that. I'm in 15 minutes now. So the next thing that I wanted to do is let everybody know that the markets are now being officially, they're changing. In terms of inventory, we do have an increased amount of inventory in our local Mid-South markets as well as nationally. We do still have a little bit of a disconnect. We have more buyers that are excited because there's more selection, but they are still struggling to, in some instances, meet that middle ground with, meet on middle ground with the seller, because the sellers in their mind are still, hoping for the highest possible price and hoping in some instances not to have to give away a lot. So paying an agent's commission and giving all the closing costs to a buyer, for example, things like that. So I'm saying that to say this: the Memphis Area Association of Realtors is hosting it's a 2-day course. If you take it over there, I did. I'm not sure who's teaching it. I can tell you that Greg Glosson taught it to me. But I am what they call what you would call, I have a certification. It's called Real Estate Negotiating Expert Certification, RENE. It's a certification. So once you get it, that's it. You got it. They're offering, it's an 8-hour course if you do it by yourself. They have a self-paced version, and then, like I said, they have a version that they're teaching in person. Greg Glosson from Fast Track Realty is usually the person teaching it over at Mar. I took it from him. And it's a really good course. It can help you navigate some of these challenging things that we are seeing in our markets in terms of negotiating. It definitely can help you with the buyer agent aspect of things, where you have a seller who may not be, too thrilled about paying another agent, a buyer's agent, and so forth and so on. It gives you different techniques that you can use to diffuse a situation. There's just a lot of good information in it. So I suggest you guys, if you can, go to the Memphis Area Association of Realtors website and click on their calendar for courses, and you'll see that come up. You can also go to nar.realtor and register there if you haven't already for education. And they have that course as a self-paced course that you can take as well. Speaking of courses, I also want to point out that this is the start of the period where we need to be complying with our ethics. So we do, with our ethics, with 2 additional things. All realtors have to take an ethics course every couple of years. You can satisfy your ethics course by taking the C2EX, going through that program. It's a program you actually download to your phone and do from your phone. And it can be a lengthy time, or it doesn't have to be a lengthy time. It just depends on what your working knowledge is of the different topics that they have in there. I'm usually able to get through it in about 10 or 15 minutes because I continually have a working knowledge of the things that they're teaching. So it's just about a commitment to excellence. That's what C2EX stands for, commitment to excellence for your clients. And it talks about cybersecurity. It talks about confidentiality and things of that nature. So you can take that course free of charge and save yourself the $30 or $40 it takes to take an ethics course by doing that. In addition to that being a requirement, your ethics course, which can be satisfied with the C2EX, we also now have to have a fair, a home buyer's, a fair housing certification or education requirement. And so the best way to get that, I'm going to share it with you, is to I'm going to share my screen here. The best way to do this is to use the resource that the National Association of Realtors gives us. So you can go to learning.realtor and find all of these courses. There's a wealth of courses there. This one is going to be required for you. So in addition to the ethics, and this is for realtors, it doesn't matter what city and state you are in, you are going to have to meet this requirement. So you have to take the ethics, which you can do or do in lieu of taking ethics. You can do the C2EX and it will satisfy that. And then, as you can see, I already have an account on the Center for Realtor Development. I've always had an account. You can come over here and see my completed courses, and we're going to. I don't have any courses in progress. That's why that's there. So you click this tab, you can see that the courses that I've completed since 2024, right? So I did, and I'm still working on, well, the accredited buyer's representative course, I downloaded it twice for some reason. And so one of them I didn't complete. But as you can see, there's a fair housing simulator, Fair Haven. Fair Haven is a fair housing simulation that you must take, or some sort of fair housing course. You will be fined by the associations if you have not completed this by 2028. So as you can see, it took me a little bit of time to get through it because I was starting and stopping and leaving my computer on and things of that nature. But as you can see, I had to, you can launch here, and I'm going to do the launch. So this concludes your simulation. So there's different parts of this neighborhood or this town, different neighborhoods that have different things going on in them. You have to read about them, and then you answer the questions and so forth and so on. It's very interesting. But as you can see, I completed the progress, so it's not going to let me it's not going to let me go back, but there's a certificate that comes along with it. As you can see, I completed mine just a little bit ago in May for the purposes of this video. So I will get the credit that I need in addition to my ethics for this Fairhaven. Also, I took the accredited buyer's representative designation course. I completed that as well. It took me about 4.5 hours to do it. I got a 93 on the test, which means that I passed, and I'm able to, if I want to, pay for the designation. I'm not going to pay for the designation because, you know, I have enough of those already. I just wanted to know really what was in the program, and so that's why I took it. This was a very good course, Intro into Sustainability and Finance, what realtors need to know. It talks about all the different challenges that people can run into as it relates to finance and like green housing and things of that nature. So I really enjoyed that, and I think that you guys could learn a lot from it. And so over here, you've got all these different courses. Some of them are free, like this one is an orientation course, but it's free. They do have other ones in here though that are free as well. I'm not going to go through all of the pages because as you can see, there's 131 courses on here. But I just wanted you to see that this is where you come to get that information. And so I'm going to move on now to the next thing. My next topic is about updates and changes that we are going to experience, specifically here in Tennessee. They actually started July 1st. And they send this out to people. I'm gonna share my screen again so you can see what I'm reading from. So they send this out to people who want to oh, let me go back. They send this out to people who want to keep up with the different things that are going on with the real estate commissions. I usually read all the rule changes and things for every state that we have a license in because I'm able to get them. And in this particular update, we had some very important things there's a couple of important things that I'm going to point out. This document is usually between, it just depends on how many changes they're making, as to how big it is. But this was 27 pages. And yes, I read all 27 pages. One of the things that I want to point out is that we're only having amendments in this particular change and a repeal. So an amendment, as you guys know, means that it updates the original terms of something and makes whatever was there no longer applicable, and the thing that has been amended, the amended thing, becomes the applicable thing. And with a repeal, that means that they have removed that altogether. So I have read this document enough that I know what all of these things say up here. So we're not going to go through those things because, like I said, they only amended or repealed a few things. So we're just going to go down to the bottom. Let's see. So these things are going to be effective officially in September. As you can see, let me find it. Well, it says it up here at the top. They filed it on June 25th. The effective date for these things will be September, because some things they have to make systemic changes and things to in order to make them work and be effective. But we're just going to scroll through and see what they did. So the first thing that they did was repealed number 4 here, which says that no person shall be eligible for examination or be considered for licensure unless 2 years have passed from the date of expiration of probation, parole, or conviction, or from the date of release from incarceration, whichever is later in time. So they're basically taking that out. They made number 5 number 4, and it just says if notwithstanding the provisions in paragraph 4, which they removed of this rule, if a person possesses a certificate of employability pursuant to TCA 40-29-107, that person shall not be denied the issuance of a license based solely on the person's past record of criminal activity, but shall instead be required to appear before the commission for the purpose of the commission considering on a case-by-case basis whether or not to grant the license. So basically what they're saying is we're taking away that 2-year requirement that we had before, where if someone had, some legal infraction, that they could not get a license. Now what they're saying is it's possible that you can get the license, but you would have to come and stand before the commission. And I'm pretty confident you would have to take a broker with you who is willing to be responsible in order for you to get to that stage. And I personally have never had to go to the real estate commission and stand for someone and say that I would be, supportive and responsible for them if they were issued a license. But I know that Larry had to do that on more than one occasion for some people. The other thing that I wanted to point out or remind people is about this errors and omissions insurance. We actually put that out last year, but just know that just because you decide to retire your license or whatever, that does not, you can retire your license, um, um, but it does not negate the fact that you need to have errors and omissions insurance, and it's saying that in here, that you will be fined $200 if the licensee is broker released, retires, or voluntarily surrenders their license due to a lapse in errors and omissions insurance. So I really need you guys to start paying attention to those emails. They come out really a few months before your license or your errors and omissions insurance is due. And Erica and Tennille spend quite a significant amount of time calling people, trying to get people to do this kind of stuff at the last minute. Just know that in the state of Tennessee, if you are broker released for that reason, on top of having to pay a reinstatement fee for your license being suspended, paying for the insurance, you are also going to be responsible for paying the state a $200 fine if we broker release you for that reason. So don't let it get to that point. Also, in the state of Mississippi, there is a rule now that says you will not be getting your information, a lot of information sent to you via the mail. That's the case because a lot of people, oh, I didn't see that, they didn't this, they didn't that, they didn't send it to me in enough time, or they sent it to the real estate office because that's the address you gave and you never come to the real estate office to check your mailbox. So they are really working to put the onus on you. It's very important that we try to adhere to all the rules and guidelines, especially in the state of Mississippi right now, because we do have an interim acting commissioner since Robert Prater resigned. And we just don't want to, do anything that puts us on the people's radar. But every piece of correspondence that the Real Estate Commission for the state of Mississippi is going to send you is now going to be in email, specifically information regarding your license. So make sure you go to the MREC website, and I'm going to pull that up for you. I'm sorry, I wound up stop sharing. I don't even know how I did that. But I'm going to pull that up for you here very shortly. So that so that you can have it. But I believe it's mrec .us.gov, but I'll get you the right thing. So make sure you go to the Mississippi Real Estate Commission's website. If you haven't already set up an account, set up an account. They are no longer sending your replacement license and pocket card in the mail to the office. Once you have renewed your license, you'll need to be able to log onto that portal and download a copy of your license to send to the correct office. In the state of Mississippi, we do have to hang the license and they do have to be visible. So the onus, they're doing that because so many people called and said, oh, I forgot, you didn't send this to my home, you sent it to the real estate office. And so now they're working to curb all of that. They are not going to be as gracious in the coming years with people who have just failed to read their emails or didn't pay any attention to the communications that they were getting from MREC in their email. They are not going to be waiving fines and things of that nature. And I know because I actually spoke to someone who got told no, absolutely not. So for those few people we had here who were able to, bypass that, God, bless you, and you should be thankful. But don't be in that position going forward. So moving on from that, the other thing, the main thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that in the state of Tennessee, we are no longer able to do this. So it says this is something that's been added, and I'm reading here. This is Rule 1260-02-33. It revolves around gifts and prizes. It has been amended. They have added a new paragraph, and the paragraph is as follows. A licensee shall not give or pay cash rebates, cash gifts, gift cards, cash prizes, or any similar cash-based incentive in conjunction with any real estate transaction, except for the following circumstances. A licensee may offer a gift card at an open house for other real estate licensees. So you can't give the gift card to the home buyers that are coming. You can give it for other licensees. A licensee may offer a gift card as a closing gift, and the gift cards in subparagraph B, which is this line above, may not be used in any advertisement to induce business in conjunction with the real estate transaction. Okay, so you cannot advertise that you're giving away a gift card, a cash prize at a home, at an open house, and things of that nature. This is for the state of Tennessee. And it says, I'm sorry, I'm a little hot. It says, down here, number 4, it says failure to comply. Oh, that's something different. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm a little hot. So that is the basically everything that you need to know about the cash prizes. So be sure that you're not advertising cash prizes, rebates, gift cards, or any type of incentive to get people to work with you in a real estate transaction. And like I said, they may not be used in any advertisement to induce business in conjunction with the real estate transaction. And then we're going to come down here to the next section, which is Rule 1260-02-38. Death or extended absence of a principal broker is amended by adding a new paragraph 4, which is so that that as amended, the paragraph will read: failure to comply with the requirements of this rule may result in disciplinary action, including but not limited to imposition of a civil penalty or closure of the firm without a principal broker. So they're basically saying, we still don't want you to be working out here independent of a principal broker. And up at the top, they amended it to say that the principal broker must be devoted to the full-time management of such office. So I did want to point that out. And like I said, the rest of these are kind of the rest of the things that I want to talk about are those were the amendments. These are things that are repealed. So 1260-0204. So 1260-0204, this has been repealed, meaning it no longer applies. Real estate answering telephone services. No broker shall post his license at a telephone answering service, nor shall any broker conduct the major part of his real estate business by or through a telephone answering service. So they have taken that out. And it's been repealed in its entirety. The other thing, this is the most important thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and it involves the Interpleader form. So for those of you who don't know what an Interpleader form is, or what to interplead means, this form was used when there was going to be a judicial proceeding because the buyer or the seller didn't feel like, they were treated, the way that they should have been treated in the transaction. Is usually the form that we filled out in the past when someone wanted to take someone to court to retrieve earnest money or be able to keep earnest money. We weren't able to resolve it amongst ourselves. You get the courts involved. So the entire Interpleader form has been repealed, as you can see. This is what the form looked like before. and they just took it out. Okay, so in the future, if you have a client who if you have a client that is looking to get a judge involved in a transaction where they feel like they weren't treated fairly, they're going to have to fill out the standard form for doing that with the courts. That interpleader form was really used to be able to expedite those type of transactions or cases through the court system. The court system has decided they are no longer worth being expedited, and so they're not going to do that anymore. And they felt like they didn't need the form for that as well, so they kind of took that back. The other thing that I want to make people aware of is if you're in the state of Arkansas, if you're licensed in the state of Arkansas, there is a new ad portal where agents can report advertising violations in the state of Arkansas. It is on the Arkansas Real Estate Commission's website. So when someone makes a complaint about how you're advertising, it's going to go straight to the commission. For that reason, they are having a mandatory meeting. It is on, I believe it's July the 16th. I'm going to double check that. I have it on my calendar because it's mandatory. Obviously, I am going to be there. I do believe yes, it is going to take place at the on the 16th at 11 a.m. For those of you who receive emails from our Eastern Arkansas Association of Realtors, there was a link sent out via Zoom where you could join online if you weren't able to make it in person. I will definitely be able to make it in person to the event. I do suggest that everyone go to the AREC, so Arkansas Real Estate Commission's website, the advertising portal where you can report the offense is on the front page. You can't miss it. And I'm just really looking forward to hearing what the commission is going to say about this process and what changes they're going to be. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you at a later date after maybe next month. We talked about housing, the inventory. Let's see, there was one other thing that I wanted to show you guys. And here it is. Okay. Let's see if I can share it. So let's see. Should be able. Give me just a second, guys. And I, really was trying to keep this at a minimum of 30 minutes, but I've gone over a little bit. Really, I'm trying to, okay, no, just do it this way. I want to show you one last document before I wrap this up. This is a document, is also for Tennessee, but I think it's very important that I share. Most of you guys will contact me or another broker, so not just me, but you will contact me or another broker and you will say, hey, this is the situation that I'm having. with my clients. And I am looking for the right verbiage. Um, and um, and usually we're like, okay, well, what's the situation? And then you'll kind of tell us, what it is that you're struggling with. I'm really trying to share this. Um, this form. There we go. I figured it out. Okay. Here we go. So I figured it out, guys. Sorry about that. So, like I was saying, there's lots of situations where you guys will call us and say, hey, I don't know what to say. This is the scenario. What kind of verbiage should I put here? Sometimes I'm able to most times I'm able to roll off some verbiage off my tongue, right off the top of my head, because a lot of the scenarios are similar in nature. Um, and But sometimes it's not so easy. And so what the state of Tennessee has done, not the state of Tennessee, but the Tennessee Realtors Association, they have created this document. As you can see, it's 6 pages long, and it's the form number is RF707. Now, I am going to upload this document to the best real estate .loop so that you guys will be able to go in there and just find it regularly. We are not going to make this form editable because it is a form that is not to be used with your real estate transaction. It is just a form that you need to refer to if you have a situation that mirrors one of these, and you need the right verbiage to put into your document. As a matter of fact, it says here, these paragraphs are provided as examples of situations that may occur during real estate transactions. They are listed here for your use to be inserted into the appropriate forms. So this document is not going to be editable. It is only going to be available for you to use to copy the verbiage and put it into the appropriate document. So they have all sorts of scenarios and they have them labeled. So these numbers on the outside are line numbers, but these numbers on the inside are numbers. They help identify the different paragraphs. So sellers to pay buyer expenses is number 1, the first paragraph, and it says note to be inserted in the closing expenses paragraph of the purchase and sale agreement. So it tells you exactly where to put it. Then it says seller to pay blank percentage of the purchase price or pay blank dollar amount toward buyer expenses as identified herein. A reduction in price in lieu of repairs, which is one we see all the time. And it gives you a scenario, and then it tells you what to say. So this goes on for 6 pages. The one thing that I really wanted to point out here is on the very last page, at the very bottom, it has wholesaling disclosures. And I mentioned at the beginning that one of our old agents, who was an agent here that's now hanging their hat somewhere else, reached out to me to talk to me or to share with me that they were teaching over at Memphis Area Association of Realtors a rule that seems new to everybody, but it was always the case. There's nothing new about it. It has always been the rule, but because there are so many people confused about it, and so many people get taught things based on the preferences of their brokerage or the markets, they wanted to make everyone aware that wholesaling real property is not illegal in the state of Tennessee. I don't know where that rumor came from. I knew that was not the case before I actually got a real estate license, so it usually saddens me to see so many agents confused about that. That has always been the rule as long as I've been working in real estate here in Tennessee. You just had to disclose that this is what you were doing. And so now they have come up with disclosures that you can copy and add to your purchase and sale agreement or your real estate transaction based on the situation. So, nature of interest in property is what it's called. A, buyer is hereby made aware seller does not have legal ownership of the property located at blank, but rather merely holds an equitable interest in property and has permission to assign the interest to a subsequent purchaser from the owner of the property. And then intend to market equitable interest. All parties acknowledge buyer intends to market buyer's marketable interest in property to subsequent purchaser. The buyer's intent in assigning the buyer's equitable interest and rights within this agreement is to obtain a higher price than the purchase price. So they're basically explaining to the buyer or the seller of a property what it means for them to be wholesaling. And this is the language that you can use for that. So I'm, like I said, I am going to make sure that that is added to our dot loop. And they also made some changes to a property condition form in the state of Tennessee as it relates to wholesaling. And so I wanted to be able to share those things. I also want to encourage you guys to reach out to me if there's anything specific that you want me to teach about. Make sure that you go and check out our website. If you missed our office meeting last month, then you missed all the exciting things that our website can do now that I shared with those agents. So if you are intrigued about that and want to know more, you can reach out directly. I would prefer you email those questions to me so that I can answer them back to you at my leisure. And then one last thing. My phone is operational from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. What that basically means is that's the time that I can hear it ring. If you contact me before 10 a.m. and after 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, please text me because I'm not going to hear the phone ring. Also, on Saturdays and Sundays, the phone does not ring at all because I believe in work-life balance, as many of you know, and I spend a lot of that time with my family. And so they don't like for me to be distracted with work when I'm spending time with them. So if you send me a text message, once I'm able to check the phone, I will get back to you. But I just noticed a lot of people have been frustrated. Well, not a lot of people, several people have been frustrated because they're like, I'm calling you and you're not answering. Well, I can't hear the phone. When I get up in the morning, I need time to pray and do things so that I can be prepared for you guys for the day. And so I don't answer the phone purposefully for those reasons. I have to have a work-life balance in order to stay sane and happy. And so I hope that you guys are doing that too. This definitely did go on much longer than I anticipated for it to go on, but it's because I wanted to get those things out and kind of share the things with you in a thorough manner. I am going to do another podcast next week because I did not get the chance to speak to you guys about the scenarios that I've had to deal with where we had challenges with earnest money and who's going to be paid a commission and things of that nature. So we're going to talk about those things, just those things, on the next podcast, and hopefully it will stay at 30 minutes or less. One last thing, and then I promise I'm going to be done. This coming Thursday on July 10th, I would love it if you guys could come out to the MEG meeting, Memphis Investors Group meeting. One of our agents, Walter Jones, I want to say Walter Ware, is on the board at the Memphis Investors Group, and he has invited our business brokerage leg there to give a talk on what it means to do business with a business broker and how we can help them navigate sales. I'm sure a lot of you are getting calls from your investors wondering, do you have any houses that are available? Investors can invest in businesses. They can diversify their portfolio with debt. A lot of investors have been looking for that. And if you don't know, the business brokerage aspect can add just a wealth of depth to your business. It's a great way to generate substantial income while still working in the field. It does cost, I believe, $25 or $30 for you to come to the meeting. They are really trying to drum up their membership. I, at one point, was a member of MIG, and then I was gifted a spot because one of our broker realtors, Richard Scarborough, shared his membership with me. And if you're really looking to get into investing and making connections with people who are in that world, this is a great place to do it. So come on out. They have their big grand meeting on the second Thursday of every month. So that would be the 10th. And you can come and hear about best business brokerage services and what we can do to bridge the gap for these investors who are looking to park their money in a good investment, but there may not be a house available. And listen to Walter talk about whatever it is he's going to talk about there as well. You can go to the Memphis Investors Group website and download their calendar. It has all the events that they're going to be doing for the month. There's a lot of value in being a member of the Memphis Investors Group. So if we have some investors out there that are in our midst that are looking to, like I said, make really good connections with really good people who know the markets well and who know where the money is, then you want to come to that meeting. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to thank you guys so much for your patience with me and for allowing me this little break to be able to get some things in place that I really needed to get in place for my own business. And I also want to say that I am always so proud of our real estate family. I think we have some of the most conscious and caring agents. We have so many agents that are willing to go, above and beyond the call of duty to help their clients. And I just think the wealth of knowledge that a lot of you have is, wonderful. And we have positioned ourselves that we could, and we have been, ever since we've been in existence, really, we have been giving the bigger box companies a run for their money. We have definitely made a mark on the local markets here. People know who Best is. People expect a certain level of service and commitment when they hear the Best name in this market. And I am always so proud to represent you guys. I always get such great feedback about how our agents perform and how they act in the field and just how helpful you are to other agents. And so, I do a lot of things to inspire brand recognition, but I cannot do it by myself. And I am just so honored and so thankful to have the lot of you working with me to make, the Best name tops in our markets. That reality would not exist without you. So I wish you guys a happy weekend. And, if there's anything we can do, please feel free to reach out to us. And this has been your Best Real Estate Companies Friday Focus that you're going to get on Wednesday, because I want you to have this information before Friday. Take care.